Hello random people on the internet, my name is Banana, and very soon we are going to see the Resistance voted in Hypixel Skyblock, or at least we assume that we'll see them voted in, because they will presumably win the fight against Dante, which is supposedly happening in 2 days. When these guys win, we're going to get a lot of perks put in, and you have a lot of things that you can choose to do whenever these players get voted into office. And in this video, I'm just going to talk about a lot of the things that you can do with a Menacing Banana Top 5 video. Yeah, this is just a Watch Mojo video. So yeah, today we're talking about what to do when the Rising Sun Resistance gets voted in. And we're just going to get right into it because there is a lot of stuff to do. And at number 5, I'm just going to put Enchanting and Alchemy because these skills are still going to exist and they're going to be as fast as you can possibly get them. It's going to be pretty much equivalent to when Derpy was in office, but you can actually use the Bazaar still, which is pretty nice. But, you know, 50% skill boost from Technoblade. And Enchanting's going to be really fast. Alchemy's going to be really fast. Right now, if we look at my Alchemy, I'm currently Alchemy 0. I'm banging, so you already know that I have my cane stored up. Cane has gone up a lot in price ever since the Resistance has been announced, but maybe you can still buy some. Actually, it's went down a bit since it did go up because it went up to somewhere around like 70k, which is really expensive. 60k is still sort of high for cane. But that's going to be my first recommendation because, I mean, if you don't have Alchemy and Enchanting leveled, this is going to be the easiest way to level them for a while because we don't know when we will see Derpy. Maybe Derpy will be here within the next month. Maybe Derpy will never come back ever again because the Resistance has replaced him and Technoblade is just Derpy but better. But yeah, enchant and do your Alchemy while you can because it's pretty much just way easier and way less money. At number 4, we're going to talk for the rich boys of the game, and we're going to talk about Slayer, because one thing that people have been doing already in Slayer is they have been trading with a friend. They basically have their friend spawn in a boss, and they kill their friend's boss, their friend kills their boss. It gets them combat XP towards their next Slayer quest, and it just works out. It's what a lot of people have been doing to get Skyblock weight, which is something that people care about, just a couple people in the high-end guilds, and just to level up their Slayer or try for some loot. It's what I did for Terras, and a lot of people do it for Revs, and Slayer trading is going to be very, very overpowered because not only are you going to get your 50% skill boost from Technoblade, but Furry E-Boy actually gives a 25% XP boost if you are with a friend. That is not Furry E-Boy that I clicked on. And you're trading with a friend, so obviously you're getting that 25% XP boost. And now, whenever you spawn in a Revenant during the Resistance being in office, and your friend kills it, he will spawn in his Revenant. So you can infinitely trade back to back to back Revenants by just one-shotting them if you are super endgame. If you're not ultra hyper endgame, you obviously don't need to one-shot them. You will still be able to just keep trading these Revenants back and forth and back and forth. Same goes for Spider. It's not going to be a thing for the Sven Packmaster, but for Tarantulas and for Revenants, this is going to be able to get a lot of Slayer XP. But it's also going to cost a lot of money. You're going to burn through stuff, especially because the prices of everything will probably drop if everyone is doing this. And a lot of people will be doing it because of how easy it's going to be. I don't know how much combat XP per hour this is going to end up giving, but it is going to get you a lot of Slayer XP. I can guarantee that because you're going to be fighting literally infinite Revenant bosses back to back to back as long as you have the coins to do it. At number 3, I'm going to go a bit speculatory here because I don't really know what a lot of these mean, and I don't know if these are actually going to be limited, but you want to do everything that the mayors are here for. Like, you look at 30 Virus, he has the Spiked Atrocity recipe. I don't know what the Spiked Atrocity is, but you should probably get it. Swavey introduces rats. If this is a pet, which I really hope it is, a rat pet would be really fun. you should get whatever the rats are. And Technoblade summons the ancient pig. We don't really know what that does either. So there's a lot of these where it's literally like we don't know exactly how long the things are going to exist. If they are recipes, if they're items, if they're bosses, we don't really know what the Resistance has in store. We don't really know how long the Resistance is going to be in office as well. So you definitely should do everything that the Resistance has to offer while it is still here, because we have no idea if they're going to come back ever. And if the Resistance does come back, will it have the same generals? Will it have the same leader? We will never know. So be sure to get the Spiked Atrocity. Be sure to get rats and do whatever every mayor has, because otherwise you might be missing out on something that could be really cool outside of the events. Number 2, and we are in the Dungeon Hub, because dungeons is, in my opinion, the second best thing that you can do. A lot of people will argue that this is the first best thing that you can do, but I do think that doing dungeons during Paul is pretty much just as easy, and the XP rates are going to be really fast during the Resistance, but there's one thing that I think is going to be better than dungeons, but dungeons is going to be straight up amazing during the Resistance. Your speed is going to be increased in dungeons because of Technoblade. Your loot is going to be increased because of Refraction. Your XP is going to be increased because of Furry E-Boy and Technoblade, I'm pretty sure. Furry E-Boys might not count, but Technoblades definitely will. Fairy Souls are going to boost your ability to survive more in there. Literally everything in this is going to make dungeons a cakewalk. I think the speed and the increased XP are the biggest things to look at here. If you're low catacombs, this is going to make the leveling process much easier, so I would grind as much as possible while the Resistance is actually in, because 50% boosted XP with no double health on enemies for the catacombs is literally just free XP for anyone who can do any floor. So dungeons is going to be awesome, but it's not number 1. And here we are at the number 1. And if you guys know my channel, you know that I'm going to be happy at what the number 1 best thing to do during the Resistance is, because it's foraging, baby! Let's go! Foraging is back on top. This is the fastest foraging will ever have been, because if you get a friend, or if you have like an alt account, or just anyone partied on the same island as you, and you are grinding Dark Oak or anything, you're going to be getting the Furry E-Boy perk and the Technoblade perk. That is 50% from Technoblade, 25% from Furry E-Boy. If that's multiplicative, that is an 87.5% boost to foraging XP. It is going to be the fastest you've ever seen this skill level up. And a lot of people, I know, a lot of people hate foraging. So if you hate it and you want to level it, this is your time. This is the time for you to shine, because foraging is going to be easier than ever. The lobbies are probably going to be a little contested, but enough people hate it to where they're probably not going to be hopping into the dark thicket and grinding. So if you want that skill average, if you want to be beating the game, foraging is the way to go, because there's really never been a time better than this to cut down those trees and to get that +2 strength. Right now I'm at what, like foraging 26 or something. I'm gonna probably do a bit of foraging levels. Maybe I'll do catacombs more. I think catacombs and foraging are pretty much interchangeable at number 1 and 2, because they're both the fastest that they can possibly be XP rates. But foraging is just something that I know a lot of people want to spend the least time doing, and this is that time. Get your monkey pet, get your ocelot, turn on your auto pet so that you can use a fishing rod and do that magic stuff, and just start gaming. I can't wait to cut down trees during the Resistance, and I can't wait for the Resistance to actually be in office. I believe that is happening in about 48 hours from now. It is actually going to be a bit sooner when you see this video, but this is going to be hype. That is my list for what you should do during the Resistance. Leave a comment down below on what you guys are going to do during the Resistance, or what you think is better. I know for sure that you shouldn't be doing mining during the Resistance. Mining is not good. Fishing is technically the fastest it's ever been, but it's also pretty mediocre. And I would say farming is pretty easy otherwise. Like, farming is going to be really fast. If you want to level up your farming, obviously do that. Your potato minions are going to work way faster if you're using those for some goddamn reason. But that's pretty much all I got for my list. Slayer, just all the skills except for mining pretty much. And the dungeons are just going to be really epic. Please leave a like if you enjoyed or if it helped you out at all. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.